Welcome back to Lair Academy, it's Mick again, and in this lesson we're going to be looking at how we can log into our knowledge base so we can maintain our categories and articles. When I initially created the project and cloned it from GitHub, I ran the following command, php make auth. This command generated the views for the authentication and placed the routes into our web.php. Once everything was in place, I cleaned it up a tiny bit. If we take a look at our web.php, you can see here at the bottom, we only have 3 authentication routes instead of the 5 or 6 that come by default. Now, what we want to do is set up the first route that we're going to be using once our user is logged in. So we'll use a group for this, and let's use a prefix, and the prefix we'll have as dashboard. And next we want to specify a middleware. And this middleware we're going to be using auth. So this just means that a user needs to be logged into the system. Now within this group we're going to have a number of different routes, but let's just create our first one. The first one we're going to be using is just a default route, and in here instead of using controller, let's actually just use a closure, so we'll say function, and all we're going to do here is say return you are now logged into the system. Now once we have that, let's also give it a name so we can specify the route, and we'll name it dashboard. Now what we've done here with this group is anytime someone comes into something like /dashboard, it's going to be thrown into this group here. Now if we hit just /dashboard, it's going to hit our first route, which will return you are now logged into the system. And once again, because we're using middleware, the authentication is already going to take place. And if we take a look at HTTP and we want to go inside our kernel.php, in here at the very bottom, you can see all the different middlewares that we currently have available to us. You can see the auth is using the Illuminate Auth middleware class. And that class is provided by Laravel by default, so we don't actually have to change anything. Now, a couple things we are going to be changing. For instance, if we open up our controllers and go to auth and login controller, right here we have a protected variable redirect to. And we want to redirect the user to dashboard instead of home. So once the user logs in, they'll be redirected to the dashboard. And we also have a middleware that we're going to have to change. We have a redirect if authenticated. So let's say the user goes to /login and they're already authenticated. Well, we don't want them to go to home, we want them to go to dashboard. So we'll change that. Now, in the previous lessons, we set up a couple users that we could use. Let's quickly load up PHP Artisan Tinker and take a look to ensure that we have some users that we can use. We'll use our query for the app/user, and let's just get any users that we have. I have an example at example.com user. Now let's try and log in with this one. So I'll just do /login, and right here we can see our login page. So the email address will be example@example.com, and we'll put in the password. And with that, you can see that we're now logged into the system, and this is our dashboard view. So if we go over to our web, you can see that's being returned. So we're currently authenticated, and now we can work on getting something like a dashboard working or an administrative backend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.